and welcome. I'm Laura of Namasturm Yoga. Thanks for joining me for another virtual yoga practice. It's fall already, believe it or not. So today we get to fall for yoga. Take yourself to cross-legged position, hands to your knees, shoulders back, head stacks on top of the neck. Close your eyes and just tune into your breath here for a moment. Depending on the day you've had already, whether you're just getting up in the morning or whether you've had a whole day, it can really affect your mindset as you approach your practice. We kind of want to come to yoga from a neutral space, but I think that's nearly impossible. I think the best we can do is just check in with ourselves and just see where we're at. What's our energy here? We can't probably fix or change it, but I think if we acknowledge it, then at least we become present and we can bring our present selves and our sense of mindful awareness to our practice, regardless of exactly what that feels like or what we feel like in the moment. So just give yourself a sec here to check in. Maybe notice your breath as well. That's part of it. And then let's go ahead and just curl into a little ball. So you can uncross your legs, but just bring your knees in. Just kind of wrap yourself into a little ball. I'm going to turn to the side here. Then from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to extend everything out. So see if you can stay balanced on the sit bones. Reach the legs out. Just reach the arms out as much as you can. And then exhale, come back in, and you can put the feet on the floor to balance again. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, tuck in. If you're having trouble with balance, you could just do the arms, but I think the balance is going to be better if you include the legs as well, because they counterbalance for that upper body. All right, and then come back in, and then use your hands behind you to rock onto your feet. Bring the hands in front of you, coming all the way to your knees. Tabletop. Let's go into a few cat-cow stretches. So starting with you, Jai here, if you haven't done that already. Inhale, head and tail, lift, chest and belly, drop. Draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale, round the back, arch the spine, drop your head down, relax your neck. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. See if you can find a good steady rhythm for yourself. When we're flowing, even in something simple as this, you want to think of the movement as being constant. So it's not like, okay, I'm in cow, let's go to cat, let's go to cow, let's go to cat. It really is like the whole time you're breathing, you're moving. And then as soon as you get to the end of the breath and the movement, you go the other way. And we'll definitely do that as we flow through vinyasa as well. Sometimes I see students for sure who like just rush through the movements but then just hold when they get to the pose. That's not like wrong, but I think that you'll find there's just more control and more stability and just a smoothness to your flow that can create a sense of relaxation if you keep the flow even instead of just trying to get to the pose and then get to the pose. Let's go ahead and walk the hands a little bit forward, tuck toes, lift knees and hips, lift knees. Actually, we're not going to lift the hips. We're going to level out in plank pose. So you can walk the feet back, reach through the heels. Reach the neck long, or the head forward, the neck stays long. Stabilize through the core. So we don't want to sag our hips, nor do we want to lift them up. They're almost level with the shoulders. And then let's take knees down, bend the elbows to lower your heart between your hands. And again, it's a slow, nice, even movement. Inhale, come on up, lift arms, legs, chest, hands are by the sides. Exhale, lower down. You can drop your forehead to the floor if you want. Inhale, float everything up, just the hips on the floor, really the hip bones. Exhale, lower, up, and lower. And this time we're going to come on up and hold, and then if you can, bend your knees, reach back with your hands for your feet. You can keep your thighs on the floor, but just gently pull the heels away from the hips. Small bow pose. And then release your feet, hands next to your chest. Drop back to child's pose. So lift your hips, but then just bring them back to your heels, forehead to the ground. Let's come back up to tabletop. Take the right foot out to the side. Take the right arm up, twisting open towards the ceiling. Let the head fall back. And then we'll go the other way. So right hand down, right knee down, left leg out. Toes are forward, left arm lifts up, twist open. And then back to center, hands forward again. This time we'll go to down dog. So tuck toes, lift knees and hips. Heart moves back, lengthen the arms. Take a little time to bend one knee, let the opposite leg straighten. Switch to the other side. Root into those hands, but relax the neck. This pose is, I think, super dependent on your sticky mat actually being sticky. So the mat is for more than padding. We want to be able to push the hands forward into the mat and they just kind of stick there. So it's not like glue, but there's just that traction, that tension that happens. So our hands aren't going to slide forward even though we're pushing in that direction. And that helps us to really lift the hips and allows the heart to lean back towards the legs. Walk the feet forward, standing forward, fold. Soft knees, upper body hangs. The sticky mat is important for other poses, especially like standing poses where we want to have traction, almost like you're trying to pull the feet away from each other even though they're not actually moving. So lots of places where we're using that connection of the mat and the foot or the sole of the bottom of the hand. It is also padding, but that's almost secondary, I feel like. Release your elbows, roll up to standing. Shoulders back. All right, let's walk the feet together, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward to Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step to plank. You can lower Chaturanga Dandasana or you can take your knees to the floor and then lower down and then inhale. Let's take a couple breaths in Cobra. So we haven't actually held in Cobra yet. We've done a little back bending. Just find this pose. Here, if you want to work the traction of your hands into the mat, instead of pushing forward with the hands, you're actually pulling back with the hands. You're like trying to pull the base of your wrist toward your hip bone. And that's going to help move the shoulders back and the heart forward. Whereas if you push forward, the shoulders tend to round forward. So think hands moving back, heart moving forward. Now tuck toes, lift knees and hips, and come to downward facing dog again. Breathe. You can kind of just give in to this pose. We're engaging the arms, but then we want to just be able to relax the heart back. Lean into it. Look forward, step, walk, or you can hop forward if you're up for that. Feet together. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold to Uttanasana. Reverse the swan dive to come on up and palms together. And let's just keep going through a couple more sun A's here. Inhale, exhale to fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale from Chaturanga, maybe go straight to up dog, or you can go Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Just one inhale here. Exhale, step walk or hop the feet forward. Half lift, fold Uttanasana. Reverse swan dive. Palms together, Tadasana. Keep it flowing. Inhale and exhale. Even this pose, so going to Ardha Uttanasana, it's so small, but use the whole inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, sweep to your cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Here, take one breath held. Exhale, step walk or hop forward. Half lift again. Fold down over those legs. Reverse the swan dive. Palms together. Let's keep going. We're going to do a few more. This is a full body warm up. So we really want to kind of get to the point where the muscles start to feel a little bit more flexible, a little bit more limber. We find some ease in this sequence. If you need to modify with knees to the floor, taking cobra, that's fine. That's what I might be doing here a bit tonight. And I will stop cueing so we have a couple of minutes. We can just listen to our own breathing. Make your way back to the top of the mat, completing the sun salutation that you're on. Standing for a moment with palms together in front of the heart. Just press the palms gently together. Press the feet gently into the floor. Try not to lock the knees or clench the glutes. From here, let's inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, as you fold this time, take the right leg up behind you for a standing split. Drawing your torso towards your left leg. And then step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee down, extend your toes, low lunge. Arms up, sinking the hips forward, maybe look up towards your hands or thumbs, or you could even bring hands behind your head, open your elbows. And then hands to the floor, and we're just going to take a vinyasa. Since the back knee is down, you're certainly welcome to do the modified vinyasa here, lowering down, taking cobra, and then downward facing dog. From down dog, let's take the right leg up into the air again, like you're standing split, but now the hands are obviously forward, and the back heel is probably not going to be as firmly on the ground as it was in the standing split. You have a choice to open the hip or keep the hips level. Just be very specific. So either one is fine, but be specific about it so we don't want to kind of just sort of haphazardly fall into an in-between one. Look forward, step forward with that right foot. Lower the left knee down, and we're going to do the same thing, low lunge, but this is on the other side this time. And then fingers to the floor. We're going to step forward, so tuck your back toes under so you can bring the left foot up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse your swan dive, come up. And palms together in front of the heart. Let's do our other side. Inhale. Exhale, as you fold, the left leg is going to go up. So we're going into a standing split here, folding towards the right leg. If your balance is good and you want to, you could choose to bring your right hand behind the right leg to pull you a little deeper. Now step back with the left foot. This time we're going to take a high lunge. So we'll keep the back knee off the floor. Right knee should remain over the ankle as you come on up for crescent pose. And then vinyasa. Hands to the floor. Make your way back to down dog. This week is honestly the first week in Chicago that it has actually started to feel like fall. It's funny because, you know, oftentimes the weather does not correlate with the calendar exactly. Let's take the left leg into the air, down dog split. Open the hip or level the hips, however you like to do it. But yeah, it's windy and just a little chill in the air. We've had some rain. Look forward, step forward with that left foot, and we're going to take crescent pose on the other side. Your knee should be right above your ankle on that front leg. Okay, and then step to forward fold. Half lift. And Uttanasana again. Reverse swan dive, come up, palms together in front of the heart. Let's take chair pose, Utkatasana. So bend those knees, sink the hips down, reach the arms alongside the ears. And then we're going to take this to a twist. So bringing the left elbow outside of the right leg, press your palms to turn your torso, feet together. Try to keep the knees lined up with each other. If that left knee is like shooting forward, see if you can move it back in space a little bit. Standing on the right foot, step your left foot to the back of the mat for a high lunge twist. If you can, fly the arms open. And then coming up, reach, reach. Left forward, right back, extend, extend. And then we're just going to plant the left hand inside the right foot, shoulders stack. From here, see if you can transition to side plank on the left. Try to keep the arms lined up in this vertical way. Roll to the outer edge of the back foot and then just move that right foot back to stack onto the left one. If you wobble, it's not the end of the world. If you need to use your hand, just do it. But if you can keep those arms up, go for it. Turn to the floor, back to plank. You can take your vinyasa or modified vinyasa, or you could just skip it entirely. That's also legit. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, walk, or hop forward. Half lift and fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. And then twisting the other way to the left. I have to admit, end of the day on Wednesday, I feel like my pace is probably slower than it is other times. So, I feel like it's, you gotta honor your own pace. We're gonna step the right foot back this time for our high lunge twist. So if you're feeling more energetic, flow with your own breath. You don't have to go at the same pace as me. If you are also feeling tired, you can go slow with me today. Fly the arms. And then let's float up. Reach the fingers forward and back. I'm also, I guess, getting older. I hate to use that as a reason for slowing down because it depends on the day. Let's just say it depends on the day. Right hand plants. Try to get those arms to stack. Roll to the outer edge of the back foot and then step that front foot back. Lift the hips. Turn to the floor. Let yourself move through your vinyasa. Hold in down dog for a couple of resting breaths. Inhale, gaze forward between the hands. Exhale, step, walk, or hop your feet up. Half lift and fold. We're gonna go back into a bit of flow here just to get back connected with the breath. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Going back into vinyasa. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. From down dog, let's inhale the right leg up. Just take one breath to lift it. Exhale, step your foot forward. Warrior one. Root your back heel down and come on up. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Take one more inhale, and then we're going to exhale to warrior two and take 3 breaths here. Inhale, reverse warrior, just 1 breath, and then hands to the floor, vinyasa, so we can get back to down dog and take the other side. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior one. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. 3 breaths. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, vinyasa. One inhale. Exhale, step, walk, or hop forward. Half lift and fold. Bend the knees, chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha. We're going to keep flowing here. Do the best you can. And again, remember, find your own pace. You don't have to be with me. From down dog, inhale, right leg up. We're going to start the same way. Exhale, step the foot forward, but just 1 breath per movement here. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Now let's straighten the front leg and come into triangle pose, which we'll hold for a few breaths. Trikonasana. Strong feet. So this is one place where I think feet into the floor are important. So that front foot is pushing forward. The back foot is pushing back. So you're pushing into the outer edge of the back foot, like you're trying to split your mat in two with your feet. From here, rotate that top arm in, palm faces the floor. Strong through your core. Lift your bottom hand, palms face each other. Fingers extend forward. Turn your torso to face the front leg. Bend your front knee and step into warrior 3. Maybe palms together in front of the heart if you don't have space, or if it's challenging your balance. Notice if this left hip is hiked up a lot, see if you can level it out so that the hips are actually right across from each other. Your hip bones are like parallel to the floor. Bend the front knee, step back to warrior one, inhale, and then just take a vinyasa so we can go into the other side. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse, straighten the front leg. Exhale, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Feet, so really energizing those feet. And then that kind of sends energy up through the legs, giving you a little bit more, well, energy, but like elongation of your limbs, your torso. Rotate that top arm in, reach it overhead. Strong feet so that the core has something to stabilize it. Bottom hand up. Turn to face the left leg. Transfer your weight to that left foot. Float the right leg up. Try to level out your hips best you can. Bend the front knee. Step way back for warrior one. Inhale and vinyasa. One inhale from down dog. Exhale, step walker, hop forward. Half lift, fold deep, bend the knees, inhale, chair. And then once again, vinyasa, we're just going back into it. We're gonna change it up a little this time. We'll do a few different poses, or a couple different poses anyway. But we're gonna start the same way. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse, and then instead of triangle, we're just gonna go to extended side angle, so keep your front knee bent, forearm on the thigh. Top arm makes that diagonal. Diagonal runs from the leg to the torso, and then the arm just continues it. So notice if you have a tendency to bring the arm up high, it's not really continuing the diagonal. Or if that hip goes up, like you've got a jut in your diagonal, your torso is level, but your leg is diagonal. So everything is trying to connect in that line. Half moon pose, left hand to the hip, right fingers forward, float your weight to that left or right foot. And then trying to open your chest, hips stack, the top arm goes up so that the arms are vertical just like they were in triangle pose. If the left shoulder is jutting forward and you're just trying to get that arm up, stop it. Just put your arm level with the shoulder, even if it won't twist all the way open. If you can twist open, you've got to twist the torso, not just make that arm all screwy. Step back to warrior two. Reverse, vinyasa. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale to step it forward. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Find your diagonal. It may not be perfect, and I know you can't see it, but work towards it. See if you can start to feel what that extension of energy is along the side edge of the body. And then half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Okie doke, step back. Stepping all the way back. Reverse warrior, vinyasa. Get yourself back to down dog. And from here, inhale, look forward. Exhale, step walk or hop forward. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. We're going to stand on the right foot. Pull the left knee into the chest as you come up and find some balance. Shoulders back. Let's grab hold of the left big toe with the left fingers if you can. If not, just stay with your knee, but if you've got the toe, extend the leg in front of you, right hand to the hip. Leg might be pretty bent, it's okay if it is, but if you're able to start to straighten it more, you may go ahead and do that. See if you can also pull your left shoulder back so that the shoulder isn't getting pulled forward with the foot and leg. Open your leg. Try not to hike up your left hip. So the hips should remain level. Keep pulling your shoulder blade onto your back as you push the ball of the foot into your fingers. And then we're just going to let go of the big toe. Step out wide. Parallel your feet. And if you landed funky, just adjust. Parallel feet, Prasarita Padottanasana. So hands to your hips. Let yourself fold down. Fingers to the floor or walk the hands between the feet. Lean in, lean toward the balls of the feet. Let your head hang down heavy. All right, and then from here, let's turn the right toes open a little bit. Start to bend the right knee towards those toes. and drop the hips down by that right heel. Take your right arm inside the right knee and then press palms to twist open. You can be on your left heel with the toes flexed up if possible. And if you want to, you can even wrap your right arm all the way around that right leg, reach behind you. See if you can find your right fingers with the left hand and bind as you twist. Okay, release that. Walk yourself back to center. Let's have both sets of toes turned out, bend the knees, and just roll up to standing. Shoulders back. Step back to the top of the mat. I'm going to go to the other side of my mat just to kind of keep facing you. We're going to stand this time on the left foot, bring the right knee up into the chest. Find your balance on that left foot. Sometimes we balance better on one foot than the other. It probably just has to do with our habits in daily life, our tendencies. Like every time you go to hold a door open with your foot, you use the same one and the other is your balancing leg, things like that. Grab the big toe if you can and extend your leg out. But I guess what I'm saying is in yoga, we try to treat both sides symmetrically, but be patient if your sides do not respond in quite the same way. Right shoulder back. And then see if you can take that leg and open it out. All right, now we're just gonna let go and then step that leg all the way to the other side of the mat, parallel the feet. Second variation on Prasarita, so grab your hands, interlace your fingers together behind the back, shoulder blades back and down, folding with the heart leading. Arms can reach overhead, relax your neck, just let that head hang. Notice if your weight tends to be on your heels. See if you can shift it toward the balls of your feet without clenching your toes. All right, now bring the hands back to your waist. Carefully let them go. Start to walk the hands over to the left foot. Turn those left toes out, bending your left knee over the foot. The back leg, the right leg is straightening and you can come onto your right heel as you sink your hips down. It's kind of a one-legged squat here. Either left arm inside the knee, press palms and just take a little twist towards the ceiling, or you can actually wrap your left arm all the way around that knee. Reach behind you with the right hand. Bind and twist. Letting that go, walk yourself back to center. Let both sets of toes turn out a little, bend your knees, and roll up to standing. All right, let's step back to the top of the mat, whichever is the top for you. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Let's take a sun A. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Hide a little plank. We're just gonna go as far as down dog though. We're gonna just add on a little bit more this time. Let's take the right leg into the air. Open the hip, bend the knee, point the knee to the sky, shoulders level, even though the low body is twisting. Let's bring the knee to the right outer upper arm. Just keep it bent. Keep the foot off the floor. Just hover it by your tricep. Inhale, down dog split, so you can lift your leg back up. Exhale, bend your knee again and bring it over to the left arm. So there's a twist. Now we're going to extend the right leg under the left arm. Straighten it out, edge of the foot to the floor. Left arm lifts, twist open towards the ceiling. Left hand down, right leg sweeps up again. Exhale, step it forward. Line up your left fingers and the right toes. Step the back foot in a little closer. Heel down, straighten the front leg. Fold. And then lift. Reach your head away from your tail. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Try to level out your hips, kinda. And then right arm up, twist, revolve, triangle. And now go ahead and let yourself fold. Pyramid, upper body just sinks deeply towards that right leg. Try to keep the hips level. So hips are going to try to make it easier for you. They're so nice that way. But we're actually trying to challenge them. So what they're going to want to do, at least what mine want to do, is they kind of want to just jut over to the side, over to the right, and that right hip kind of lifts, the left hip kind of drops. Makes it easier to fold over the leg, but we're no longer getting the stretch that we want. So try to keep those hips pretty level. It might not be perfect, but aiming for it is going to give us a better stretch than if we just kind of go with what our body says to do, because it's going to try to get out of the way of the stretch. And then hands to the floor. Take yourself through a vinyasa here if you'd like. You can skip it if you're like done for the night with the vinyasa stuff. But if it would feel good, take it. Left leg up, open the hip, bend the knee. Point the knee to the sky. Really try to twist open. So it's not just like, okay, well, I've got my heel by my hip. That's good. Really try to stretch that knee up. You can stretch across the front of the leg. You can get some stretch in that hip socket. Left knee now to left arm. Hold for a breath, for 2 breaths. Inhale, down dog split. Left knee to the right arm. Take a twist here. And then we shall extend the leg under the arm. Edge of the foot to the floor. Right arm up, lift and open. Right hand to the floor, down dog split, step the left foot forward, step the right foot in a little closer, and imagine there's a center line on your mat. Your left foot is to the left, your right foot should be fully to the right, so we don't have one foot behind the other, we actually have them separated just a little bit. Plant those right fingers inside the left foot. You can fold a little bit as you straighten that front leg. Hips should be pretty level. Then from here, lengthen. So think of reaching your head directly away from the tail and getting your spine long, and then twist around your spine. Left arm up, revolve triangle. Root into your back heel. If that heel is coming up, again, that's your body's way of trying to make it easier for you. So even if you can't go as deep into the pose, you want to keep the alignment because it's going to ground you. Let's fold pyramid. So just let yourself sink in. Again, trying to keep the hips pretty level. May not be perfect. And planting the palms, step yourself to plank, take a vinyasa, and a downward dog. All right, let's walk the feet in just a little closer to the hands. We're going to take a nice twist here. So you want to move the feet close enough to the hands that you could reach back and grab your legs. So if they're still too far away, you reach back, you can't. They've got to be a little closer. But we don't want them so close that we could pick our hands up with no problem, right? So find the midway in between. And then the left hand's going to come back to the right leg. Pull through for a twist. Switch sides, left hand down, right hand to left, pull through. All right, and then stepping all the way forward, lower the hips down, sit bones. We're gonna take boat pose, Navasana. Take your hands behind your thighs first, pull your shoulders back, lift your heart, then lift the shins. See if you can just find balance here now. Maybe you can let go with the hands. Feet to the floor. Plug your shoulders in, hands behind you, reverse table. Push the feet down to lift the hips up, chin in or head back. And hips back down. We're going to do one more. Just float into it best you can. Now, as you come out of this one, lean back so that you can lengthen your legs and then slowly lower your legs. Come up with the upper body. Let's take a reverse plank. So maybe turn the fingers out, but plug the shoulders in. On your heels, lift the hips, point the toes to the ground, chin in or head back. And sit bones down. Bring your feet in, turn the toes out. Use your hands to get your hips up. Squat, malasana. Arms are inside the legs. Press your palms. Think about moving your heart forward and your shoulders back, almost like you would for a back bend. Crow pose, bakasana. Upper arms under shins, hands to the mat, leaning in. See if you can shift your weight off of your feet. Maybe just one set of toes at a time, and then try the other set of toes. Or if you can get both feet up, go for it. And then optional, so if you feel like playing a little bit tonight, see if you can slowly bring your head down to your mat, and then take the legs up, tripod headstand. If you feel safe. If you don't feel safe, please don't. Do it with no one there to catch you if you fall. Okay, and then if you want to come down, back to crow. Bend the knees. Bring the shins back to the arms. See if you can. Transfer the weight all the way onto your hands, off of the head. Feet stay up. Crow pose. Woohoo. All right. Lower it down. Now from here, you can stay practicing crow. You can keep practicing tripod headstand, or if you want to take a classic headstand tonight, you can try that as well. If you would rather move to the wall to practice classic headstand, please feel free. As always, when you're going upside down and balancing on your head, you want to make sure you're going to be safe. I'll talk through it briefly how to get into the pose, but if this is something brand new to you, you can just work on the practice of it and you don't necessarily need to actually accomplish it for it to be worth it. If you're coming to headstand, elbows under shoulders, interlace your fingers. Your head is going to get cradled up by your hands, either kind of between them in the palms, or you can press your palms and bring your head, like right by the base of your palms. Head is on the floor, but not the very top of the head. It's slightly in front of that, not to your forehead, but like your hairline. Tuck toes, walk the feet in, and then you can practice floating the legs up one at a time. If you want to go a little more advanced, you can try to float both feet up together. It's more challenging, it builds the core, but maybe the core needs to already be built in order to do it, and then try to get the legs right up over the hips. So sometimes when people come up and through the pike, the hips end up behind and the feet in front, so you want to ultimately find a way to get yourself into a vertical position. We also don't want to banana it, where the chest is forward and the hips are forward and the legs are almost leaning behind. Work on verticality in this pose. And I know you can't see yourself, so you just kind of have to think, okay, I'm going to reach up through the inner edges of my feet. I'm going to lift my tailbone to the ceiling without clenching my glutes. And then I'm going to root down through my forearms to help support that lift and extension upward. Breathe, of course. When you're ready to come out, there's no rush. Again, you can come out 1 foot at a time. Try to come out with control. So Yes, gravity is going to pull you back down, but see if you can resist gravity so that you're controlling your descent as opposed to just giving in and falling. Okay, so child's pose here. I encourage, if you've been in headstand, to stack your fists. Just take your forehead to your fist there. Keeps a little curve in the back of the neck, which is a little bit more restorative than trying to stretch it out completely just after we've compressed it. Okay, and now from here, let's walk ourselves onto our bellies. So you can just walk yourself out long, whatever way makes most sense for you. We're going to take another bow pose. Bend your knees, reach back with your hands for your feet, or if you can grab the ankles without widening your knees, grab your ankles, flex your feet. Pull the shoulders onto your back. So this doesn't seem like you would need that much prep for it, but can actually help support the pose as a whole if you do it. Shoulders onto the back. Press the pelvis down into the floor. And then those actions are really going to take you a long way towards just simply being able to pull the heels away from the hips. It's going to protect your low back, and you're already kind of almost there. Breathe. When you're ready to come down, slowly lower to the floor. Forehead or an ear to the ground. Just take a couple breaths between. We'll do one more here. You can do it the same way, or if you want to, you can also reach for the inner feet, which kind of pulls the shoulder blades together a little more. So maybe a slightly deeper shoulder stretch, just a slight variation. Again, maybe flex the feet. If you've got the ankles, press the pelvis down, shoulder blades together, and lift on up. If you've just eaten, this may not feel comfortable. just so you know, you can go easy. And then let yourself lower. Again, forehead or an ear. Let's bend the right knee. We're going to step the right foot kind of over to the left and behind us for a little low body twist. Try to keep your chest and shoulders facing the floor. Other side. Right thigh to the ground. Extend. Left knee bends. Pick the leg up and step behind you. Then come back with that leg to the floor. Hands next to the chest. Inhale, cobra pose. And let's take downward facing dog. All right, pedal through the legs if you want to. Just move around any way that would feel good here. We're going to move to a pigeon stretch. So taking that right leg up into the air, you can open the hip and bend the knee again, and then move your knee forward behind the right wrist with the shin across the mat. Knee comes down. And then use your left toes to walk the left leg back. We don't want to rock all the way to the right hip. You should feel this stretch in the hip. If it's hurting your knee, come to your back for the modified version. But if you're good here, just start to walk yourself down, maybe forearms on the floor first. As you're ready to go deeper, you can drop your head, walk your arms out, maybe forehead will come to the floor. Some of you might even find that as you spend some time here, the chest comes pretty close to the ground. Let yourself breathe and just give into this pose. Start to walk the hands in, come up. Quad stretch for the left. Support yourself with the right fingers, bend the left knee, drawing that heel towards the hip. Any deepening variations you want to take here are totally fine. When you're ready, let that foot go behind you, palms to the mat, back to down dog, and you can shake out that right leg or kick through the heel if that would feel good. Releasing it completely. Whew. Other side, left leg up, open the hip and bend the knee. And then move the knee forward so you can take your pigeon on the other side. You know, we just want to mirror what we did on the first side. You can use your right toes to help walk you back. Of course, that also, the reality is it might feel different than it did on the first side because this is a different hip, right? So just be patient with potential asymmetry in your body, but try to give it the same attention and awareness. Okay, bring yourself upright so that you can stretch your right quad now. Bending that knee behind you, reach back with your hand for the foot and move your heel towards your hip. Let it go. Hands to the floor, back to down dog. If you want to, you can shake out the left leg or kick the heel. Make your knee crack, your ankles. Let's walk the feet forward, and we're gonna just take Padahastasana. So bring the feet about hip distance apart. Bend those knees a whole bunch. One at a time, lift a foot, slide a palm underneath so the toes reach your wrists, truly. And then the other one. So lift the other foot, toes to the wrists, wiggle the toes into the wrists, lift up a little. So get the shoulders to lift and the arms to stretch, almost like you're trying to pull the arms away, but they're not going to go away because your feet are pushing those hands to the ground. And then relax your neck. For those of you who feel like you can take a hamstring stretch, then straighten the backs of the legs, but that's kind of the last priority here. And then bend the knees again. Sink the hips down, down, down. Get the hands out from underneath the feet when you need to. Take the right leg out. Step the left foot across for a twist. Use your right elbow or around or past the left knee to twist to the left. Untwist, Janu Shirshasana. This can be done solo the foot to the inner thigh, or if you want to take a half lotus, tuck the edge of the foot up into the hip flexor crease, roll the knee so that it drops down. The foot should be all the way tucked up into the crease of the leg. It's not on the thigh, right? It's like above the thigh, like at the very tippy top of the thigh. Flex your right foot and then fold towards your right leg. Okay, come on up. Walk your hands in to bring you up, left leg out, and we're gonna cross the right leg over for a twist. Twisting to your right, use your left arm. And then Janu Shirshasana, or the half lotus variation here, stretching over the left leg. Flex your left foot and fold on down. All right, come on up and uncross, or take that leg out. Give both knees a little bit of a shake. Let's go to the ground just for a moment. So I'll close with you from a seated position, but we haven't been on our backs at all. So let yourself lower down just to really release that low back and rest your back for just a moment or two. Maybe roll your knees around in a circle. One direction and then go the other way. Or you can just rock from side to side. Whatever would feel good. If it would feel good to lift your legs and kick them, you can do that. And then maybe a happy baby, bending the knees by the sides of the chest so they kind of go wide. And then grabbing the outer feet with the soles of the feet facing the ceiling. Shins are vertical. Again, rocking on that low back. You can push one foot into the hand and stretch out one leg at a time. Do the other side. Anything that is going to just feel really good for the low back here. Releasing and letting go. And you may decide that you just want to stay here on the floor and move into the direction of Shavasana, corpse pose. So that's one option. Just stay down, lengthen the legs out. For those of you who want to come back up to sitting for a moment, maybe roll through the spine a couple of times and just come back up to it. Take your time. If you want to stay down, stay down. Otherwise, cross the legs if you're up. And then if you're sitting, maybe just inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Close the eyes. And once again, checking in with yourself. How are you feeling? What's your energy like now? Notice your breath. You can drop the ujjayi. By the way, you can be noticing these things even if you are laying on your back on the floor as well. And then I'll close the practice with you with just a simple bow forward. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you wherever you are. Thank you so very much for joining me today and sharing this practice. Namaste. Okay, well, good work. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those for me. Otherwise, just have a great rest of your week, and I hope you'll join me next time. Bye-bye and namaste.